Hi everyone. Our today's topic related to the Anthony Blinken visit to India. Joe Biden, the President of United States of America, will going to send his first man in command to discuss about the issue related to the Afghanistan, China and the COVID-19 with the Indian Prime Ministers and the Indian External Affair Minister. So why the Joe Biden is sending his second first in command? What is the reason behind it? These are the reasons. Because of that, the Biden is sending his most trusted man to the India. The USA is very much concerned about the Chinese rise in Indo-Pacific region, and they are trying to influence the region by implementing the BRI, which is Belt and the Road Initiative, which was inaugurated in the year 2013 by the Chinese President Xi Jinping. The Chinese are going to loan to those countries, those who are deprived of cash inflow. So, in the name of helping, and they are putting those countries in their vicious debt trap. In the recent event, they gave the loan to Sri Lanka, and the Sri Lanka failed to give it back. In return, they have to give the Chinese the strategically important Hambantota port, which is in northern Sri Lanka. The as if the Chinese gave this Hambantota port to the Chinese port to the Sri Lankan gave this Hambantota port to the Chinese. These kind of things are putting the Indian geopolitics in jeopardy because the Hambantota is very near to the Indian coast and the Indian special economic zone. So that is why if the Chinese ships going into enter into an Hambantota with any devices that will going to scan the oceans and that will going to put the Indian interest into jeopardy. These events put the American in fix. So they are looking at they are looking at India as a strategically competitor against the Chinese. The Chinese are trying to intimidate the countries which share the borders with her. India is also facing the Chinese wrath, but India is fighting by showing them the chest of courage against the Chinese aggressions. The Chinese are, as the India fight against the China in the Doklam and the recently in the Ladakh, the Chinese are very suspicious about the Arunachal Pradesh. So to influence that region, recently the Chinese President Xi Jinping visited a region in Tibet Autonomous Region near to the Arunachal Pradesh. The Chinese are also claiming the South China Sea because they in that region the Chinese claimed fully because that region is full of minerals. The Chinese also built the artificial island in the South China Sea. The islands are the Parcel Island and the Spati Island. So these kind of things are putting the geopolitics of these countries in very much in hard because these kind of islands, the islands they are making in the South China Sea is blocking the free navigation paths of the ships in that regions. If the Chinese will going to able to curtail those ships to go to the Japan or the Korea, then that will going to hamper the United States interest because that is the trade route that contributes so much $1 billion. If Chinese will going to claim the South China Sea, then the Chinese will going to claim the taxes for those ships going through that region. So then the American interest will then that will put the American interest in jeopardy because America is linking the Gulf regions with the Japanese and the South Koreans because the American ships going through the Indian Oceans enter into an South China Sea doing the business with the Japan and the South Korea. Though the business interest those Americans have in the Gulf regions. So these are putting the American interest in the jeopardy. And in very recent event, the USA in very very recent event, the USA is leaving the Afghanistan after 20 years of war against Taliban. Actually, the after the 9/11, the United States attacked the Afghanistan to kill their most vicious enemy called the Osama bin Laden. But they found out that the Osama bin Laden was living in Pakistan. They killed them in the soil of the Pakistan. But after that, they were staying in Afghanistan to reform the Afghanistan to a modern state. But they failed it. They failed to do that in that 20 years. They tried to reform, they tried to give the Afghans the education, they tried to give the Afghan the infrastructure, but all failed because of the Taliban and the mentality the Afghan peoples are bearing. They are not the democracy loving people. They are the warlords. They used to be an warlords. They love the power in their hands. Whatever the regions they are holding, they love to hold the power. If they are only holding the Kabul regions, being a king of the Kabul, then they will going to love it. So these kind of things actually prevented the United States of America not to do good for the Afghanistan. And also in that 20 years of battle, in that 20 years of American reign in Afghanistan, India has also invested the $3 billion and so many assets India built for the interest of Indian people and for the interest of the Afghan people to do the good for the Afghans. But if that region fall into the hands of the Taliban, then America will going to lose and the India will also going to lose the one of the strategic country that in which India can invest, and to the peoples India can believe, the Americans can believe. Because if the Afghanistan fall into the hands of the Taliban, then they are the Talibans are basically the pro-Chinese and the pro-Pakistanis. So the Pakistans will going to infest that country by sending the terrorists, and they will going to send the terrorists to being trained in that region, so that regions will not be as stable as it was when the Americans were there. The India has already said that the Afghanistan solution would come by the Afghanistan people, only by any Afghan, by the Afghan for the Afghan. The India is doing the solutions by an Afghanistan itself, by doing the favor to an Afghan peoples. India has built so many things. So India wants the solutions from Afghanistan too. No one have the right in, that's why India said that no one have the right to interfere in this region, because the region is very fragile. Because we have seen the 1991 Afghanistan, we have seen the Afghanistan 1990s to the 2000s. There used to be the reign of the Talibans after the USSR lost the battle of Afghanistan. Then super conservative, the Talibans build an super conservative society that did not allow the women to go to the school, did not allow the women to go out without their partners. So this kind of society will not going to do the goods to the countries. And lastly, the vaccination, the COVID-19. The India is the country which have potential to produce the billions vaccines for the world, because India is the largest producers of vaccines. And in the recent event, India and the America caught into a raw material embargo. What does that mean? That America was not sending the raw material to the India to produce the vaccine. Then we send our external affairs minister to talk with the Americans, and after that they actually allowed the American raw material to come into an India to produce the vaccines for the world. India will also going to get the vaccines from the America like the Pfizer and the Moderna. And so these are the events that inspired the Americans to send their Secretary of States to the world's largest democracy. It will be the Blinken first visit to be the President Joe Biden Secretary of State. He already visited India once when he was the Deputy Secretary of the State during the reign of the Obama's rule. The Blinken will going to meet our External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he will also going to meet our NSA Ajit Doval, National Security Advisor. The Blinken will also visit the Kuwait at the end of his July 26 to 29 trip. Blinken's trip will follow a visit by the Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman to the China. They are also sending the Deputy Secretary of State to the China to talk about the issues that will going to be discussed in India, in Kuwait, in Afghanistan. These are the things will going to be discussed with the China. The Blinken's agenda will be the Indo-Pacific engagement, shared regional interest, shared democratic values, and climate crisis. The climate is a very important issue. The temperature, we have to control the temperature to fall the earth into an disastrous positions of climatic adversity. The Blinken is also likely to discuss the plan for an in-person summit of the so-called Quad. The grouping of India, Japan, Australia and the USA is seen as a counter to the China's rising influence. In this meeting, they will also going to discuss the going in person late September UN General Secretary Assembly, the pandemic permitting for the each other citizens. When the America will going to permit our students and our citizens to visit the United States of America, that will also be the issue in these discussions. The United States hosted the virtual Quad meeting in March, at which the countries agreed that Indian drug maker Biological E Limited would produce at least billions of coronavirus doses by the end of the 2022, mainly for the Southeast Asia and the Pacific countries. The Washington has been comparing in the vaccine diplomacy with China, the world's largest vaccine producer, hit by the catastrophic second wave infections. That's why the India have to halt the vaccine export to the world. India addressing the news portal. In addressing the news portal, the Blinken said that the India is such a critical country in fight against the COVID-19 and it would eventually become a vital source of the vaccines to the world. So, in addressing the MSNBN, the Blinken said these words: the India is focusing now to vaccinate its whole citizens of 1.3 billion. India is a strategic partner of the USA. That's why the USA and the India sending their important counterparts to the each other countries. In the May, the USA sent their Defense Secretary Mark Esper, and India sent their EAM, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. Now USA is sending their first man in command, the Blinken. So the India have to be cooperative with USA to counter the might of China. The China have to restrain their greed of the colonial mindsets, because the greed always invites the destructions of the system. The India have to make its democracy powerful to influence the Chinese autocratic system. Recently, the Indian Prime Minister wishes the exiled leader of Tibet, Dalai Lama, in his 86th birthday. So these kind of tactics are the pressure tactics in the geopolitics. So this is about today. Thank you very much.